We're going to begin printing today by selecting two papers from the store counter. You can pick any two colors you'd like. Your next choice is if you're going to leave the papers as is, or if you want to add a little paint color on top of your paper. So I am going to do one of each so you can see the difference. On this purple paper, I want to try to add a little paint color. So I'm going to go to the back store counter where there is actual paint. So the back counter has just paint. On the back counter, I am putting this roller in the paint, and then I am rolling it on the side, trying to get a nice even layer of paint all over that roller. So I can see there's a spot that did not have any. What I'm going to do with this is I am going to roll one direction, putting a little bit of color on this paper. If you want to leave it kind of faded, you can. If you want to make it a nice even paint color all over, again, I'm picking the roller up, rubbing it one direction, not back and forth. So it's okay today to still see purple or whatever paper color you have underneath there. So again, I have one paper where I added a little paint color. The second paper, I'm just going to leave as is. You have the choice, whatever you would like to do. Next stop is to find a table that has the ink color you want. So this is where we have to be really thoughtful on our color selection. I have papers that are fairly dark right now. So I would not be able to print with a light ink. It just wouldn't show up nice. I'm thinking black is going to look great on both of these papers. So this is where I need to find a spot with the ink color I want, and this is where I need my printing plate. This is the ink, so this is much stickier. I dipped my roller in that ink a little bit. I'm going to slide it to a side of my plate, and I am going to rub, trying to get a nice even layer of ink. You can really hear how sticky that is. There are some spots that don't have any ink yet, so I just want a nice thin coat. I don't want to see gobs. That's looking good. What I'm going to do is I want to cover my stamper, just those raised areas, with ink. So I'm getting a nice thin layer. You can see I'm getting some of this ink on the messy mat. There's a little bit of ink going between those shape colors. That's okay. The important thing with this ink, though, is you do not want to see it dripped on and gooey. Just a little goes a long way. All right, each of those raised foam shapes, oh my goodness. I hope this does not happen to you. Some of my shapes just came off. I'm going to lay that back down where it was. That's about in the right spot. If that happens to you, just lightly put it back where it was. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to move that stamp. I'm going to lay my painted paper right on top of there. And I'm really feeling with my fingers, trying to see that I get this in the middle. All right, I think it's pretty close to being in the middle. What I'm going to do is just rub with my hands all over, and you can actually see the impression of those shapes coming through. I'm pushing, and I'm going to pull my print up. And I noticed one of my shapes that came undone got stuck there, but I'm pulling, that's that other one, pulling this print. Beautiful. It's not picture perfect. That's okay. Prints are kind of faded. That gives it a really nice artistic look. This print is going to go in the drying rack. And then I have to stay with that same ink color because I have black ink all over my stamp. I am going to repeat the process, putting a nice new layer of ink on each of those shapes. That's that same shape. And I know this circle over here kept coming up. Nice little even layer of ink all over. And I'm going to pull my second print. My second paper is going on top. I'm going to lay it down, rubbing gently. I don't want to move it or shift it, or my print will end up blurry. I can really feel those shapes and making sure I'm pushing on each one so it shows up. I'm going to pull my print. There it is. So you can see the difference between the painted paper look and the paper I did not put paint color on top. Both of these need to have your name on the back. They're going to go in the drying rack. and your printing plate has to go in the drying rack today. When you are finished, you're responsible for cleaning up any areas you printed or painted at, making sure they're nice and neat. If everyone is done at that table, you're going to help bring the dishes to the sink.